for unity between South and North Korea, saying a united Korea can be a very strong power center. He welcomed the ambassador to Uganda. Later, President Museveni met the new ambassador of the state of Libya to Uganda, His Excellency Ibrahim Ahmed Sultan, with whom they discussed the situation in Libya. In a meeting with the new ambassador of Colombia to Uganda, Her Excellency Monica de Graif Lindo, President Museveni welcomed her to Uganda and encouraged her to exploit the rich natural resources that the two countries compete with to promote their mutual relationship. Ambassador de Graif relayed greetings from the President of the Republic of Colombia, His Excellency Ivan Duque Marquez, to President Museveni and said she looked forward to working in Uganda. President Museveni also met the new Sierra Leone High Commissioner to Uganda, Her Excellency Isatu Bundu. Ms. Bundu relayed greetings from the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Woni-Bayo. Later, President Museveni met the new Israel envoy to Uganda, His Excellency Michael Otem, who briefed him about the situation in Israel. He also delivered greetings from the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, Naftali Bennett, to President Museveni. The President also met the new Thailand ambassador to Uganda, Mrs. Sasirit Tangrat, who relayed greetings from the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Thailand, General Prayut Chan-o-cha, to President Museveni. She congratulated President Museveni upon his recent election to victory and commended Uganda's efforts in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
In more stories, sorrow and grief filled Entebbe International Airport as the body of the late Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah, was officially received this afternoon. Now, the Vice President, Jessica Lupo, led the government delegation and informed the country that the late Speaker will be accorded a funeral befitting his status.
At 2 p.m., the Ethiopian Airlines Airbus A350 flight number ET334 with late Speaker Jacob Oulanyah's body touched down at Entebbe International Airport. The body was received by a number of friends, relatives and government officials led by the Vice President of Uganda, Jessica Lupo. The mood was dull as the belly of the A350 was opened and the casket containing the former Speaker's body lowered. The casket was then dropped in the Ugandan flag and handed over to the funeral manager's A+. The bearer party comprised officers from the Uganda Police Force.
This is the moment of reality that the body of Oulanyah returns to the country. Being escorted here by officers from the Uganda Police Force.
As the body of the former speaker was being wheeled exiting Entebbe Airport tarmac heading to the VVIP section of the old airport on runway 1330 Delta, the Acholi cultural dancers performed the Bwola dance, a royal dance among the Acholi people, and a dance which was the late speaker's favorite. The Vice President, Jessica Lupo, shortly addressed the mourners, commiserating with the people of Uganda.
The bereaved, And I send my condolences to His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and the Speaker of Parliament, and the Deputy Speaker, and indeed all members of Parliament, and all the people of Acholi sub-region, but also all the people of Uganda. May the soul of the Right Honorable.
The body was then handed over to the funeral managers and escorted in a convoy up to Mengo. This development marks the start of a week-long mourning period before the former speaker will be laid to rest at his ancestral home at Lalogi village in Omoro district. Samuel Sendono, UBC News.
Now, the body of former Speaker of Parliament Jacob Oulanyah is spending a night at A+ Funeral Home. Throughout the night, the process for embalmment of the body will take place before it is handed over to the family for a service on Sunday. Take a look.
Your Excellency, we come here at a time when so many things have changed in this country. I read somewhere that a country that keeps both eyes in the past perishes. But a country that keeps one eye in the past and one eye in the future prospers. Your Excellency, when you took over government, you did just that. You asked all of us to keep one eye in the past.
At around 4:30 p.m., all roads around A+ funeral services were cordoned off to pave way for the return of the body of former Speaker of Parliament, the late Jacob Oulanyah. As expected, a heavy deployment and presence of security operatives were everywhere near Mengo Hospital, the neighbors' A+ funeral services. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, he is no more. The body of the late former Speaker of Parliament Oulanyah ushered into the gates of A+ funeral services, accompanied by Chief Justice Owini Odolo, Speaker of Parliament Anita Mong, Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Taebwa, and the DP President Norbert Mao. The body of the former Speaker of Parliament will be at the funeral home throughout the night for the embalmment, and on Saturday it will be presented to the family before a prayer service at his home in Muyenga Sunday morning.
Now, UBC TV will keep you updated on all the things that are going to transpire before the Speaker of Parliament, the late Jacob Oulanyah, is laid to rest, even when he's laid to rest. Moving on from that, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, and the new Ambassador of Israel to Uganda, His Excellency Michael Lutem, have met and discussed further cooperations in various areas in the education sector. Ambassador Lutem, who was accompanied by his deputy, Dosman Yakoni, paid a courtesy call on the First Lady at State House, Nakasero. The First Lady was together with the Ministers of State for Higher Education, Honorable J.C. Muyingo, and the State Minister for Sports, Honorable Dennis Obua, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Education, Keti Lamaro, and Irumba Roger Kaija, the Under Secretary of Finance and Administration. Mrs. Janet Museveni welcomed Ambassador Lutem to Uganda and to his new assignment. She said Uganda cherishes the relationship it has had with the state and people of Israel over time and the various programs in the country that Israel has supported. She talked about programs in the education sector that Uganda has implemented together with Israel. Among them is the Israel Agri-Studies Apprenticeship Program, which gives Ugandan students hands-on training in Israel to expose them to modern farming methods in horticulture, crop and animal agriculture. The Ministry of Education and Sports has also benefited from the Master's Training of Trainers program, under which Israel expats have come to Uganda twice to train tutors from the Business Technical Vocational Education Training Institutes. She observed that there are certain things that Israelis do exceedingly well and which Uganda can learn from. She cited the field of water provision and protection in dams during both the wet and dry seasons, which they've excelled in despite the country being a dry land. In more stories, Speaker of Parliament Anita Among has pledged legislative commitment towards ensuring that there's an end to any form of standoff between government and Buganda Kingdom. She gave his assurance shortly after receiving the Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, who was at Parliament, to eulogize the fallen Speaker, Jacob Oulanyah. Mayiga later paid a courtesy call on the Leader of Opposition, Mathias Mpuuga, where he challenged members of Parliament from Buganda to advance the Kingdom's interests. Henry Okurut reports.
By 9 a.m. on Friday, the leadership of Parliament at all levels started arriving. These included the Leader of Opposition Mathias Mpuuga, Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Taibwa, and the Speaker Anita Among Anet. They were here to receive the Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga. He was here to pay his respect to the fallen Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Oulanyah. No sooner had he signed in the condolence book than he was ushered into the visitors' room for a brief meeting.
Jacob was somebody who loved everybody. He was somebody, a very peaceful man. He never wanted grudges. In memory of Jacob, we pledge to the country that will work for the common person, will work for everybody.
Here, Anita Among Anet promised to bridge any gaps between Buganda Kingdom and the central government.
And we are going to make sure that we work with the Kingdom. We know the Kingdom has issues with the government, and me and my deputy, we are going to make sure that we resolve all the outstanding issues that concern the Kingdom that have not been resolved.
Mayiga welcomed the idea as he eulogized the foreign speaker.
If we prioritize the interests of the common person, how they live, the work they do, the health they receive when they visit health centers, the education they receive in schools, the opportunities that we accord them. If we do that, and I call that the common good, I think we shall have remembered the late Jacob Oulanyah appropriately.
He would later be treated to a guided tour of Parliament, which he concluded with a courtesy call on the Leader of Opposition, Mathias Mpuuga.
Wanabakkiriza obulyawo gye bujja alikola olukyalo olutongole Leader of Opposition kiraba kitukola bulungi.
Mbasaba bulijjo musosooza abantu ne bye baagala nga mukolanga abaana abe.
Other members of the public paid their last respects as members of Parliament, headed to Entebbe International Airport to receive the body of Jacob Oulanyah.
We have lost a strong Ugandan, a strong cultural supporter, a person who believes in God, a person who reconciles easily.
We want to request the Almighty Allah to forgive him in whatever circumstances we have lost the Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah.
With his body already in the country, Oulanyah, who died on Sunday 20th March 2022, will be laid to rest on Friday 8th April of this same year. Henry Okurut, UBC.
In other news, mothers to children born during the LRA captivity under the umbrella organization War Victims and Children Networking are in deep sorrow after losing the man they were looking up to as the pillar in government. They said that former Speaker Jacob Oulanyah was fighting for their rights and had pledged to see that the government fulfills the promise of 20 billion Ugandan shillings meant to support their livelihood.
Since Sunday, the 20th of March 2022, when President Museveni broke the news of the untimely death of Speaker Jacob Oulanyah, the country has been in mourning. Former wives of the LRA rebels are grieving late Speaker Oulanyah as the person who was their direct connection to the government. The motion we have presented in Parliament had not matured after being sent back to Parliament and him being elected as Speaker. He still had a lot to do for his new office. His death has left us with a big gap to fill. We ask the President to help us in our pledge. They explain that the former Speaker of the 11th Parliament was so helpful in pushing for their plea of the promised government support of 20 billion shillings.
And also in that motion, they will pass 20 billion that they are going to give for the livelihood for the women, for returnees and their children. The Speaker again promised that he is going to commit himself to make sure that that 20 billion should come to the war victims in Northern.
Stella urges the new Speaker of Parliament to help follow up on the government pledge.
My request to the new Speaker and the government, what our father left behind, they should continue it, and they should fulfill the need he started to work with the war victims. That is what we want from the new Speaker and the government of Uganda. And
George Ovola, a former volunteer at Charity for Peace Night Commuters, says death has robbed them of a patron, human rights defender and the icon of northern Uganda.
The leaders were raising voice to the government to come and protect children on streets. Oulanyah was one person together with the Mao who led in raising that voice in the parliament. They did not stop there. They came and joined the religious leader, Beka Ochola, Odama, to sleep together to make sure international community understands what night commuters is.
Before his death, Oulanyah had been working closely with the war victims to improve their living conditions. The former Speaker of Parliament is also remembered for his role in convincing the LRA rebels to bring stability to northern Uganda, especially during the Juba peace talks.
As Muslims prepare for the holy month of Ramadan, the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Mourning, has called on all Muslims to repent their sins before starting the fasting period, since Ramadan is a month of receiving blessings, mercy and forgiveness from Allah. Details follow.
Fasting has been described to you and decreed upon you as it was decreed upon those that were there before you, so that you may become righteous.
The Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mourning, has encouraged Muslims to work hard and be rightful in this holy month of Ramadan so as to harvest the fruits of fasting.
I therefore encourage Muslims to work hard during this month of Ramadan and earn more rewards from Allah by praying Taraweeh, giving Sadaqah, reciting the Holy Quran, reconciliation and forgiving one another.
Sheikh Shaban Mourning also called upon the government of Uganda to provide a solution to high prices imposed on essential products that are used in homes.
The government steps in to save the common person, the common man, the common lady from these skyrocketing prices. of the essential commodities. If we talk about soap, we talk about sugar, we talk about salt, things that are essential to the life of an individual.
Similarly, a call to the countries that are embracing wars has been made so as to stop bloodshedding in the holy month.
The leaders in the fighting countries engage in peace talks and a ceasefire. We thank those countries that have already ceased fire in respect of Ramadan, like what we had regarding the war in Yemen.
Ramadan is a holy month of worship, studying of the Quran, prayers and fasting, and it occurs during the month in which the Muslims believe the Quran began to be revealed to the Prophet.
The Institution of Surveyors, the Office of the Supreme Mufti, Directorate of Sharia and Legal Affairs, has confirmed Saturday the 2nd as the first day of Ramadan. Now, the Director of Sharia, Dr. Abdul Hafiz Warusimbi, who advised Muslims to continue observing the 5 daily prayers, help the needy and make tahajjud a priority, disclosed the beginning of the fasting. We have details from Kaya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. The Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah, O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed to you as it was prescribed on those who came before you, so that you can learn self-restraint. We are here in the Directorate of Sharia and Legal Affairs in the office of the Supreme Mufti here at Chibuli. After receiving the information from reliable sources, we have been reliably informed that the crescent has been seen. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar walillahi alhamd. This simply means that the observation of fasting for this year 2020, it is going to begin tomorrow, that is 2nd of April 2022, insha'Allah ta'ala. So I wish to encourage all Muslims to make the necessary preparations to observe the fasting, the holy month of Ramadan. We all know a lot of benefits that are found in the holy month of Ramadan. I wish to urge Muslims to utilize this chance to intensify all kinds of worship, like the recitation of the Holy Quran, standing up for Taraweeh, standing up for Tahajjud, and even other good things that we are encouraged, especially during this holy month of Ramadan. I also wish to encourage and to urge those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has elevated in status, especially the socio-economic status, to extend a hand of help to the needy, among the orphans, among the indigents, among the widows, and all other categories of the disadvantaged members of the Muslim society. Therefore, officially, I hereby announce that tomorrow, insha'Allah, that is 2nd April 2022, insha'Allah ta'ala, we are beginning observing the fasting of the holy month Ramadan for this year 1443 AH, which is 2022, insha'Allah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
UBC News Tonight will take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories in sports, international and business news.
Today in history.
The British flag, also known as the Union Jack, was for the first time hosted in Uganda. The Union Jack replaced the Ibeco flag that was first erected at Old Kampala Hill by Captain Frederick Lugard in 1890. The flag was hosted by Special Commissioner Sir Gerard Poto.
Pay for your dream phone, Mpola. Get your dream phone today for as low as 1,400 Uganda shillings with free data for a year and pay slowly. All phones come with daily 50 MBs for 12 months. Repayment period is 1 year. Available at MTN service centers and M-Copper shops.
COVID-19 is still here with us. As Sheikh Ramadan Muwajjeh, the Mufti of Uganda, states, let us all take the necessary precautions.
Prevention is always better than cure. Let's not go for prayers in mosques, congregational prayers, unless we are masked. Carry your own prayer mat, sanitize at the entrance. Let's all value the gift of life.
Because of the new COVID-19 circulating variants like Omicron, it is very important for all of us to be fully vaccinated with 2 doses of the same vaccine type. It's only those getting Johnson & Johnson who receive only a single dose to be fully protected.
Even after vaccination, continue to adhere to all SOPs by wearing a mask properly, covering your mouth and nose, washing your hands regularly with soap and clean water or using an alcohol-based sanitizer, maintaining physical distance of at least 2 meters from others and avoiding crowds. Echa COVID-19, chija kugwa. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and partners.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's 28 minutes past 10 p.m. and we're still going. In more stories, government has been urged to multiply its troops in the volatile border areas of Kabong to prevent the Turkana from entering Uganda while armed. Now, during a security meeting held in Kapalata Town Council in Kabong, the leadership of the district declared the insecurity in the area by the suspected Turkana warriors who are killing innocent people, raiding animals and looting.
Kabong district borders two countries of Kenya and South Sudan, the neighboring tribes of Toposa and Turkana, who are armed and sneak guns into Karamoja sub-region. The effects of the guns, like cattle raiding, murders and looting, have spread in all the 9 districts of Karamoja, including Kotido, Moroto, Napak, Nabiratuk, Karenga, Kabong, Abim, Nakapiriprit and Amdat. However, the neighboring districts of Teso, Acholi and Sebei sub-regions have made it hard for the government-led disarmament operation to be successful in Karamoja. Locals in Kabong district say pastoralists from the neighboring communities are illegally grazing in Uganda while armed.
Dry what? Dry season. Who posted the Turkanas to come here, to Uganda, looking for pasture? They came with the guns. They came with guns with a troop of people, very many people.
And they took their animals. Whenever the animal reaches in the border, the other side, it has entered the border and the soldiers have to come back.
Locals have expressed fear that they may fail to plant food in the current season since their gardens are being encroached on.
Also to go to their fertile areas because all people have already now been converged within the center, and tomorrow most of them have started to struggle within the gardens. This morning we had people were beating each other just because of the smaller gardens after the insecurity has sent them off from their previous gardens.
By Turkana.
Meanwhile, locals want security to be tightened, especially along the border, to prevent the Turkana from entering Uganda with firearms. However, the brigade commander for 405 Brigade, Nakapera Moru Best Brigade in Kotido district, says soon another brigade will be deployed in Kabong district.
When the dry season comes, they always come here. So when the rain season comes, they go back and they come to attack us. So we are requesting the government to try to redeploy and deploy more forces around the border, Lotinyam Barracks, Glosera and Narukeny.
We are going to receive
the brigade size force, of which we are going to reinstate a brigade at Irongoromit. The security in the district or in the region at large will be catered for.
The Turkana people are alleged to have burnt 3 houses in Kalapata sub-county in Kabong and the murder of 3 geologists and 2 UPDF officers in Lotisan sub-county, Moroto district.
National Drug Authority has impounded drugs worth 89 million Ugandan shillings in West Nile from drug shops with unqualified personnel selling government drugs. During the enforcement exercise from last week, NDA faced resistance from communities in Nebi and Zombo district who store bulky drugs to serve clients across Democratic Republic of Congo.
Once you get a license, you will come and claim your stock.
National Drug Authority has impounded drugs worth 89,400,000 shillings and 103 illegal outlets closed, including 1 pharmacy. The operation that started on 21st of March was undertaken in 11 districts of West Nile. The exercise, in which government drugs were found, was spearheaded by Samuel Kyomugisha, the head of enforcement at NDA.
A total of 182 outlets were inspected, 157 of them human and 3 veterinary, 20 clinics. Of the drug outlets inspected, 61 were licensed. A total of 103 drug outlets were issued with closure notices, from which 447 boxes of assorted medicines estimated at 89,400,000 were impounded.
Samuel Kyomugisha disclosed that 3 suspects were arrested in Nebi and Arua districts. He cautioned drug shop operators against sale of drugs without NDA license of 2022 and encouraged the public to look for licensed drug shops to buy medicines.
3 suspects were arrested in Nebi and Arua and are held at the respective central police stations. NDA reminds all operators of drug outlets not to transact business without a 2022 license. We encourage the public to always buy drugs from NDA licensed outlets. We appeal to the public to remain vigilant and report any drug outlets that do not comply with standards.
In contrast with 2021, the NDA West Nile Regional Manager Dr. Umirambe Emmanuel confirms that there has been an increase in the number of illegal drug shop outlets as a result of less inspection during COVID-19.
We have noted that the number of illegal outlets has really increased, and this has been attributed to the period we had COVID. We didn't have a rigorous enforcement activity, and that gave an opportunity for these illegalities. We have also noted that government of Uganda drugs and smuggled drugs, the common ones which we have is Coatem.
During the inspection at Parombo Town Council and Irusi Trading Center in Nebi, NDA team faced hostility from locals after illegal operators were with bulky stores in their homes to feed clients in DRC.
We have also encountered during this operation some hostile communities. The communities were ready to destroy the government property, to destroy our lives. That happened in Nebi district, the 2 areas where we got big stores in Parombo and the Urusi.
Well, International Hospital Kampala staff have carried out community neighborhood wellness campaign by providing free medical services to residents of Namwongo. The one-day project was expected to accommodate 5,000 members who were mobilized by area leaders. Take a look.
leaders of these areas, and they have constantly shared with us some of the challenges, especially regarding health services in their region, in their areas. And from their feedback, we were able to come up with this program. For someone to be registered to be part of this program, the LC1 chairperson has to recommend them as residents. We all know that the national IDs we have may not accurately depict where we are currently residing. This is in addition to other projects that we have had within this area. We have a project called Touch Namuongo that offers free screening, free counseling and treatment of HIV, of TB, people living with HIV, people having TB, and malnutrition within the area of Machindi.
That was IHK extending their hand to the community. Thank you for making a difference. Now, the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Authority, with support from GIZ's government's program, has vowed to closely enhance public procurement outcomes and service delivery through monitoring and reporting of findings in public assets. This was highlighted at a briefing of the contract monitoring system and tracking mobile phones handover to the civil society organizations at the PPDA headquarters in Kampala. Joshua reports.
Following the collaborative framework between Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Authority and civil society organizations, PPDA, through its strategic initiative on stakeholder engagement, has strengthened its journey to provide oversight on government assets.
PPDA as an entity or as an organization was put to provide oversight to ensure that the procurement processes are handled in a transparent, fair, competitive, non-discriminatory, and delivers value for money. We have to monitor. We have also to build the capacity of these procuring entities. But more especially for this purpose, we must provide a monitoring function.
The plan to ensure effective contract implementation and improved service delivery was boosted by handing over 96 mobile phones to 12 partner civil society organizations, each taking 8 phones to facilitate them in pursuit of their duties.
Getting of our phones from PPDA, we are basically in our region, we are monitoring public procurement. We are looking at schools, hospitals, water projects. The status is that there are some projects, of course, where we've had projects not being completed. Now, this digital tool is going to be easier for the monitors to actually fill, because these phones are going to be given also to the youth. We have youth monitors. Of course, a youth monitor can easily use the digital method.
The mobile phones, which have a mobile app with a web-based dashboard, can be used offline by community monitors, which makes it ideal for places with poor network connectivity to easier and faster timely feedback to PPDA in regard to progress.
This system has been put on smartphones. It can also work where the internet is not, there's no connectivity of internet, and it provides also real-time reporting. We have works which have been done shortly. Civil society organizations based in those regions, there will be timely reporting and timely intervention by PPDA.
According to PPDA, distribution of mobile phones to civil society organizations will not only aid in the monitoring of government assets, but also help in the fight against the swindling of government funds. Joshua Kagoro, UBC News.
Well, thank you so much, Joshua. Moving on, educationists and school proprietors in the country have been encouraged to continue emphasizing training learners the importance of the Holy Book of Quran and the Bible to enable them know their usefulness, respect and fear of God as the source of wisdom. This was during the Islamic Schools Quran competition held at King Fahd Islamic Muslim Primary School in Busega at the outskirts of Kampala, capital city. Kasivante reports.
In the 1995 Constitution, the freedom of worship is well elaborated, a fact that has partially led to the starting of many religious-grounded schools. Not only traditional schools were founded on religious grounds, but with the liberalization of the economy, the education sector fell suit. With the reopening of private schools, some which are religious-founded, this has enhanced moral upbringing of students and pupils. In Uganda, there are over 1,485 Muslim schools. Out of the 629 are private, situated in Kampala metropolitan area. The Muslim-founded schools every end of term organizes Quran reading competitions aimed at grounding the learners in Islamic faith through teaching of the Quran. This was at King Fahd Islamic Muslim Primary School in Busega. The headmistress of the school, Hajat Hanifa Nalule, encouraged parents and learners always to support these competitions with the beginning of the holy month of Ramadan.
Normally break, we do Quran competitions because our school is an Islamic school, meaning it has secular and theology curricula. We train our children in the Islamic way and Islamic norms to prepare them for the hereafter, and we do prepare them for secular so that we bring up Muslim well-equipped religiously and well-equipped in the secular ways. So we have had Quran competitions and PIFA.
She, however, encouraged parents to teach their children about their religion. I'm Nafka Farida and Salongo Kasivante.
Now, the government of Uganda recommended ratio of teacher to pupils and students to 1 to 53. However, the case is different in the eastern district of Butembo, where one teacher handles over 100 children or learners at a time, something that they say is very hectic. Now, this is partly attributed to failure of reopening of some of the private schools, to which the Ministry of Education is encouraging schools to adopt shift learning. Henry Okurut with a report.
It is class time here at Nasenyi Primary School in Kabwangazi sub-county of Butembo district in the Bukedi sub-region of eastern Uganda. The process of imparting and receiving knowledge is on for primary 3 pupils. The topic of the afternoon is learning vowel letters in the English language. But there is one challenge that is transparent and anyone can notice. This congestion is said to be a result of increased enrollment after COVID-19 lockdown.
With that population of 1,820 pupils, we only have 180 desks in the whole school. You find that most of the children just sit down.
And the shortage of teachers makes it worse and more challenging.
I have 285 pupils in my class, and the class is too small. It is really hectic, and that population is really hard to be handled.
But we have tried to split them into various streams, but see there are very many.
Per quarter, I think we need around 15 million shillings because there's a lot to be done.
It is a challenge that has attracted the attention of both local and national leaders. The arrival of Agnes Amede, the woman member of parliament for Butembo district, is just in time to cause this meeting with teachers over the same.
The classes are crowded. The places of convenience are not enough, are not commensurate to the number of pupils who are at school.
It takes
the commitment, understanding and responsibility of all of us here to work within the available resources.
Challenges here, shortcomings there, and solutions everywhere are similar to what is being experienced at Kachuru Primary School. This is found in the recently created sub-county of Kachuru, some not so many kilometers away. It is time for physical education for primary 1 class. It is the most populated class in this school, comprised of 260 pupils out of the 1,767 total school enrollment. Worst to this is that the 7 million Tamil grants that the school receives is not enough.
P1, P2, they sit on the floor, there are no desks. And when you look at the latrines, they are also not enough for this population because there are only 20 instances of a very big population of 1,767.
Experiencing similar challenges is Kadokolene Primary School and
Need to send money to a loved one but you don't have enough on your phone? Have you run out of fuel but you don't have enough money? Do you want to pay for yaka or water but have insufficient funds? Or do you want to shop but you don't have enough money? Don't worry, get away with MTN Momo Advance. Momo Advance tops up your Momo to complete your transactions. Dial *165*5*3# to apply. MTN Momo Advance is always available when you need it.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite shows.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift, buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. In our business stories, a new board of directors appointed by President Museveni to oversee the operations of Uganda's national carrier, Uganda Airlines, has been inaugurated. The 7-member board will be held by Priscilla Mirembe Seruka, who together with her team took oath today in Kampala at an event presided over by the Minister of Works and Transport, General Katumba Wamala.
Mirembe Seruka swear that I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Uganda as Chairperson, Board of Directors, Uganda National Airlines Company Limited.
A new board for Uganda Airlines has been inaugurated. It has members sourced from the private sector, former aviators and business people. The new members are Priscilla Mirembe Seruka, Captain Ibrahim Chisoro, Samson Rahire, Herbert Kamuntu, Abid Karim Mourning, Barbara Namugambe and Patrick Ochailap. These new members replaced the Pereza Hawes-led team, which was suspended on allegations of mismanagement and corruption, and the previous board's predicament dominated the speeches.
To exercise this work with high level of integrity, do not get into the challenges the previous board got into. Know your lines and do not cross them.
There is no room for corruption in Uganda Airlines. No room for management incompetence. No room for unprofessionalism. And no room for wastage of resources, wastage of money.
Works and Transport Minister General Katumba Wamala tasked the new board to be in sync with the company's business and development plan while executing their duties.
The airline must run as a business. This is a business. It's not a parastatal. We don't want to run it as the former parastatals of the country. Please don't expect ministers to say, I want this from the airline. It won't happen. This is a business arm, a business asset of the nation.
On her part, the new board chairperson thanked the appointing authority for entrusting her with this new role, and she promised to lead a team that will herald the much-needed change at the airline.
We pledge not to let you down and to take our calling very seriously. As a board, our role will not be to manage, but to carry out our FOSA mandate, first to guide the airlines in fulfilling its corporate mission, and our role shall be to translate vision into reality. The second is to give strategic direction to management, and the third is to protect the company's assets over time and ensure survival and prosperity of the company in a transparent and accountable manner. And the fourth will be to protect the shareholders' interest.
Uganda Airlines currently has a fleet of 4 Sierra Gen 900 jets and 2 Airbus A330-800 neo aircraft serving 11 destinations. Plans are in advanced stages to open up new routes, and the new board will be pivotal in making this happen. Samuel Senono, UBC News.
Well, congratulations to the new board. The Director of Industrial Hubs and Presidential Projects in State House, Engineer Sharon Kyomugisha, has reiterated his warning to leaders that there will be zero tolerance to any form of corruption during the selection exercise of beneficiaries of the skilling. Now, Engineer Kyomugisha was representing the comptroller of State House, Ms. Jane Bariechi, sounded the warning while addressing leaders from the districts of Adjumani, Moyo, among others.
Very many children. You know better the reasons. Maybe immunization, maybe peace, maybe what. But the planning for these children has not matched the population against the resources. That's why you find a long time ago, you could find that whoever maybe graduated would be absorbed into civil service. But now it is not the case. So we need to find or devise means of managing our society. So in regard to that, the president chose that let our children take some skills. Those who have not been able to get education, like most of us here, let them get something at least through getting a skill, through welding, through this and that, so they can also survive, like survival skills. So 3 years ago, he came up with a concept to start industrial hubs. And in these hubs, we shall have 4 major components. 1, it is skilling, giving skills to the young people. The president has given you a blank check. The more creative you become, the more things you're going to do to get. It is like the mustard seed. You throw, if you keep it and say, shall give it to you fresh as you gave it to us, to become good people, you will give us again the same thing. But once it can multiply, then we shall have so many initiatives.
I really appreciate the government of Uganda under the leadership of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to give us this industrial park in our region, 2 in Western region. This is to me a very big blessing to us as a region. Industrial park is given for our youth, especially to skill our youth. So it is us in this house to see that how we shall talk to our youth to come in a good number when these projects will be installed properly, to have this knowledge so that we shall also have something to be sold in our region to go to another district.
The background of the project that you must teach these youth and women in the local language. We are not looking for, you have gone to school, nothing.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Two minutes to 11 p.m. In our sports news, Altona Swim Club has started earnest preparations for several events, and notable of which is the national championship that happens in 2 months. John Bansentama reports.
The sport of swimming is steadily gaining prominence in Uganda as many youngsters continue registering at several clubs. Altona Swim Club is one of those that have gained a large following, and the good news is that under the guidance of coach Eric Kisero, success has followed. The club is now focused on increasing its performance and has started early preparations for upcoming national and international engagements. Tara Kisauzi, Abigail Mwagari and Paula Nabukera are some of those that are getting ready for key challenges like the Kana Zone for this month in Zambia and the World School Games in Brazil later this year.
This training is helping me prepare for Nationals 2022 in June, and I'm excited for Nationals, and it's also helping me prepare for Kana and World School Games in Brazil. And Kana is the one I'm really excited for because I'm going to represent Uganda for the first time. And I'm going to go with some of my friends, and I'm going to enjoy it because we are traveling and it's going to be my first time traveling.
While the Altona swimmers also seek places on the Kana Zone 3 team in Tanzania later this year, most of them target a respectable performances at the national championships in June.
For preparing for the nationals, we're doing power sets, underwaters, to ensure that we get better times in nationals. My coach is giving all of us power sets to ensure that we pull with energy when we are there and get better times.
Altona Swim Club will at the national championship be up against others like Dolphins, Seals and Sailfish Club. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
It is exactly 11 p.m. and we've come to the end of our UBC News Tonight bulletin that started at 10 p.m. 1 hour ago. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Have a lovely night with Mikael Mohammed in Sign Language. Good night. Bye-bye.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
But the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first, and who shall bless the guy curse, you know? And them for know that. Red Square, tell them this. No way, no how. Can't stop us now. They can't stop us, they can't touch us. We tell you they can't flop us. No way, no how. Watch out, check it. Stop us, they can't flop us. We tell you they can't touch us. Okay, we'll try and that they wanna try. Say and that they wanna say. Nothing that they do can never stop us, no way. No make no sense so we reply. Still them on me merry way. Me say our meditation, no one stray. We going through the rigors.